see. Hold on, I've got to see if my trailer's on properly. I guess this is something you've got to consider when buying a trailer, because I don't know, it's called a boat trailer, I think. I don't know what it's called. It's a box type trailer. It's about 4 foot high. So if you imagine the height internally of a dispatch, it's probably just a bit lower. It's probably about 5, maybe 6 foot long at its longest. And maybe 3 foot wide, 4 foot, 3 foot wide. It's narrower than that. So it's a big trailer, but it's big enough to hold the chipper and a few extra bits. I can get the little ladders in there. Can't get the big ladders in there, but I can get the little ladders in there and what have you. So it's ideal for when I'm doing any sort of hedge or tree work. It just means then everything's in one place. It's all secure, job done. But it's a ball ache to manoeuvre. And it's a reason why I had that issue with the garage. And the thing is, I'm on a job today, and it's in one of these old new builds, and it was built in the 80s. And I kid you, you look at the place, and it's like a warren. In fact, when we moved here, we moved to this particular place just round the corner, and there are areas of the streets where there's no roads. You've literally just got footpaths, and you've got to park your car halfway up the street because there's literally nowhere else to park. You don't have a garage outside your house, and literally nowhere to park. And I guess what it is they consider these low grade houses, and people in low grade houses won't ever have a car. So my stepdad always had a problem parking because, well, there's probably about 4 parking spaces for about 15 houses, and yeah, you can imagine the problems. There was a little bit of a car park at the top of the street, but that was far out of the way. As I say, that there was, you know the areas. There was just literally no roads. You're walking around the streets, and there's massive blocks of houses with footpaths. And houses either side of the footpaths, but literally no roads. Anyway, so this is kind of in that area. It is a road, but they're so narrow, it is unbelievable. And again, parking nightmare. So I've literally got nowhere to park. There's no way I'm going to risk trying to get the trailer on the drive again. It's only got a slight incline, but I'm just not doing it again. Just not. I thought if it runs, because it's not braked, I need to find out if there's a way of controlling it on an incline like that. There's got to be a way. And you know, so I'm parked on the road, and I looked and I thought, well, people can get past, and I never give it a thought that I was opposite somebody's drive, but I'm not actually covering the drive. I'm just parked opposite the road, and technically there's nothing stopping me. But here's the thing as well, and this is going to it'll make me digress to another topic, but it's going to make me sound sexist, but it's a blooming woman, and she can't park. Women don't seem to be able to park. I'm sorry if this upsets you and in this woke society we live in, but a lot of women can't park. I had an ex-girlfriend, and I tell you what, her parking was fucking amazing. It really was. I said, there's no way you're going to get in there, and she did. It literally, with probably an inch either side, her parking was brilliant. So, you know, I'm just saying, there's a lot of women who they can't drive. There's a lot of blokes who can't fucking drive. You know, but, you know, and so I knew that there was going to be an issue in this street, so I didn't want to take the trailer. My initial idea is to take the car around, hook up the trailer to the car, and then take the van round. But I know what would happen. This woman who can't park to save her life would take up the space of three cars deliberately to cause problems, and because she just can't park, she just can't be arsed. And the thing is, that's the problem. There's a few people like it. There's a couple who have got 2 cars, and they park their cars as close as they can together to minimise the amount of room they're taking. And you know, they'll park the cars in such a way that they take up as least amount of space as possible. Whereas the other 2 people in the same place who've got cars, they don't care. They'll just park them anywhere. You know, it's a big gap. That'll do. I don't think it's deliberate. I think it's just literally they do not fucking care. They just don't see it. So if I take the car out, well, it's like now I'm going back, and I looked on the camera and she's not there. So I have got space behind the car to put the trailer, which is what was like this morning. But she come back and parked right behind my car. There was space to park further back and give me a bit more room. But no, well, you could tell if she'd have gone the other way, she'd have parked behind the other car. But she's literally just pulled. She can't reverse. It's as simple as that. I've watched her. She cannot reverse, and she just literally has to drive in to the space. I mean, I watched her trying to reverse into one space, and I tell you what, there was enough room for a car. You just reverse straight in, no problem. She's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I just thought, what are you doing? In the end, she gave up, went up halfway up the street. And I thought, there's loads of room there. It's just literally a lack of skill. So I ended up taking the trailer with me, so I'm literally parked at this place, this job, and there's just nowhere to park. So I've had to park opposite somebody's drive, and again, it's a woman, big car, she couldn't get on the drive. I was having a wee-wee in the back of the van, and I could do this, and I thought, what the I thought it was the delivery van or something, just trying to get past, and I thought, well, why are they revving their engine like that? And what it was, she was just inching her way in, and I thought, there's loads of room to get in that drive. What are you doing? But no, she couldn't get into the drive, and then she's sort of like saying, well, why are you parked opposite me drive? I said, well, where can I park? And she goes, well, you can park on their drive. And I said, I've got a great big trailer, I can't park on their drive. Where am I going to put the trailer? And I said, to be honest, last time I did try and park on the drive and somebody with my trailer, I hit the blooming garage. I said, there's just nowhere for me to park. I said, I'd normally park around the corner, but again, because there's like a little lay-by, if you will, where you can park a few cars, but there's cars parked there, and again, they're parked in such a way that you can only get 2 cars in there. There's enough room there for 4 cars, because there was 2 cars there before, and I managed to get my van and trailer in there. It was a tight squeeze, but I managed to get my trailer and van in there. But no, it's people just don't think. So, and I think a lot of it is down to, well, I'm not letting anyone else park near me. I don't want anyone else near my car. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's just down to lack of thought. I really do. They just can't think for anybody else or about anybody else. It's just selfishness, just completely and utterly selfish. It's like me. I will park my van around at my stepdad's and trailer. That's where I leave my van. I've got a camera watching it, obviously, but I do it because I know that if I park in front of the flat, one, I think it's dangerous for the van, but also it means it gives less room for other people to park. So I'll park my van round at my stepdad's. Again, junction, you're supposed to give pedestrians right of way. Remember that, peoples. So I'll check the camera, and I'm going to see if I can get the trailer on the car. At least then because I don't like doing that because it's taking up room. But I am thinking, if I turn up and I've got nowhere to park and it's down to inconsiderate parking, I'm going to put a note on my car, and it's going to say I'm no longer going to move my trailer and van. It's going to stay here. If people haven't got room to park, it's tough. I'll only move it if I've got nowhere else to park the car or something. I'll have to go out in the car. But if I'm parked there, my car's parked there, it's like, you know, I'm not moving it. Simple as. I'm not going out my way to move the van when it's already nicely parked and my car's nicely parked. I'm not going out my way to move something when people can't even have a little bit of respect and park properly. Oh God, is that all you do, bloody moan? I'm sick of your moaning, you miserable bastard. This road will be closed on the 28th of the 1st, 26. Yeah, it wasn't. Oh yeah, they're what are they doing? Dug up the road. Makes me smile. This is why we have potholes, because obviously, you know, to do the whole road surface it just costs a fortune, but they've already done this road surface here and then they'll have to dig it up to do something else. It's probably some sort of cable or something like that, you know, needs repairing. So my book's coming along, it's getting there. I'm on my second chapter now, and I need to do a few re-edits and what have you, so it's only a short story, but it's yeah, it's coming along. I'm actually enjoying it. It's given me a bit of it's very motivational, and it's just given me a bit of something different to do rather than sit there watching TV. Not that I watch TV, you know what I mean, DVDs. Which has become a pain in the backside because our DVD player that we use has decided to pack up. I bought a DVD player, I don't know what's wrong with it, but I had to buy another one. And I bought another one, and now this one's, it just won't accept the discs, and I've got the exact same. The thing is, because I've got 4K, and the thing is, it's like they're very expensive. And they're rare. And I reckon what it is they update the software so that it doesn't play the discs, and then you go and think, oh, I'm sick of this, I'll just have a streaming thing. Because they don't want you to hold physical media anymore. Here's an interesting fact for you, because we watch Stranger Things. Tell you what, if you haven't watched it, it's not a kids program, trust me, but it is, you know, the last season it's a bit of a letdown, but it is actually very good. But here's the thing, people have noticed a few subtle changes. They've watched it and they thought, well, I don't remember that. Hang on, this is missing, this is different, what's happened here? And this is just like a week after they watched it, they binge watched it or something like that and decided to re-watch the episode or whatever, and they've noticed the subtle differences. And apparently the Duffer Brothers have changed part of the programme. If you've not watched it, I do apologise, and you do want to watch it, but if you have watched it, you know what I'm on about. One of the characters is taking some photos of a girl, not in a creepy way, he's just taking photos, but that's how it looks. It looks like it's in a creepy way, and I think that's the direction they were originally going. A character, and oh, please don't tell me she's there. Oh, good. So he's become quite an integral part of the programme, so they've changed it so it's not that he's not doing that anymore. And people have noticed. Right, I'm going to shut this down now and just sort of tell you that about a trailer. Think about it. If you're going to buy a trailer, think seriously about how to use it, where you're going to park, and God knows whatever else. Anyway, see you in another life, brother. Let me know where that comes from.